My name is Filippo Piscopo. I'm an independent documentary filmmaker and a cinematographer. I am the director of photography of Nuns versus the Vatican, which is a feature documentary on the abuse of Catholic sisters by priests. The film focuses mainly on Gloria, who's a former Italian nun who, along with other sisters, was allegedly abused by a priest who was celebrated by the last 3 popes for being an artist and a visionary. And I was lucky enough to be able to rely on Canon glass and cameras, and in particular I used for this film the Canon C500 Mark II paired with the wonderful Sumire cinema lenses. That combination allowed me, first of all, to achieve a painterly look of my shots, and at the same time, using the full-frame sensor of the C500 Mark II, I was able to convey, through contrast, the conflict between the darkness of their story and the brighter side of their story. I wanted to stay close to the truth, and at the same time, the rendering of their image and the rendering of their skin tones was beautiful. And it helped us, and me in particular as a cinematographer, to portray these women not only in terms of the trauma that they went through, but also with their beauty and their resilience in keeping fighting for accountability and transparency. I used the whole array of focal lengths of the Sumire lenses, from wide angles, 14mm, all the way to 135mm lenses, depending on the situation I was in to film. So when I had, for example, to film evocative B-roll, that was oftentimes the case, especially when I wanted to render the impenetrable nature of the Vatican and the columns outside St. Peter's, in order to stress a particular color rendition on the colder side. And instead, when we filmed our characters, we went for a warmer cast. And being able to use the Sumire prime lenses, it was ideal because, especially at open aperture, the sense of shallow depth of field that you can achieve with those lenses is magnificent. And also the fact that you can create depth with those lenses paired with the color rendition allowed us to create evocative B-roll for the outdoor situations we were capturing. I can rely constantly on an equipment for any kind of scene that I need to film for my documentaries. B-roll or verite-style scenes or on-camera interviews. I know that I can rely on this equipment. Every time I turn on my camera, I can operate it on instant without needing to go back to instructions or menus, and it feels very immediate to me. What I took away by making this film is the realization that even if an institution seems powerful and invincible, you as an individual and also as a group of people that have been hurt by an institution can preserve your dignity and fight for accountability and transparency. So, being the Catholic Church an institution anchored in the past, we hope that the film will have an impact in pushing them to reconsider how they tackle the abuse, and especially the fact that oftentimes, instead of listening to the victims, they protect the perpetrators.